Happy Tuesday, everyone. I hope you had a wonderful Valentine's Day, and I hope your week is off to a great start. I wanted to share a thought on something that's been on my mind a little bit lately. I think mainly just because I haven't had any of it lately, and it was this idea of making time for people. And it's really easy right now in this context and this pandemic and everything we're dealing with to kind of settle into the isolation because we have good reason for it. And especially as I'm recording this now, we're in a snowstorm and this winter storm in the middle of a pandemic, and it's really easy to not make time for people, and for some people that's harder than others. I personally tend to enjoy the peace and quiet of alone time, but it's so important, and it's a pattern I picked up a little bit more lately, and I see Jesus, and something happens multiple times that I think is really, really notable. And I'll give an example and talk a little bit about it. So this is in Luke chapter 8, verses 40 through 42, and then continuing on, but I'm just going to read a little excerpt of it. Now when Jesus returned, the crowd welcomed him, for they were all waiting for him. And there came a man named Jairus, who was a ruler of the synagogue, and falling at Jesus' feet, he implored him to come to his house, for he had an only daughter about 12 years of age, and she was dying. While he was still speaking, someone from the ruler's house came and said, Your daughter is dead, do not trouble the teacher anymore. But Jesus, on hearing this, answered him, Do not fear, only believe, and she will be well. And when he came to the house, he allowed no one to enter with him except Peter, John, and James, and the father and mother of the child, and all were weeping and mourning for her. But he said, Do not weep, for she is not dead, but sleeping. And they laughed, knowing that she was dead. But taking her by the hand, he called, saying, Child, arise. And her spirit returned, and she got up at once. The story continues on, but the main thing that I wanted to take note of is Jesus comes into this town. He's just stepping in. He's got crowds waiting for him. And what he does instead is he takes on the thing that wasn't on his schedule that day. He does the same thing with Zacchaeus. He does the same thing with various other people that he ends up healing, where Jesus has so much to do. Jesus didn't have a 50-year ministry. He had a 3-year ministry. There's so much to do. His time is so valuable. His time could be so packed and busy, but he takes on the little thing. He takes on the thing that wasn't on his schedule that day. He takes on the person in need, and it's one of those really painful things to read because it's just something we don't do in our culture. If it's not on our schedule, it doesn't happen. If it's not a part of our if it's not our problem, it's not our problem. And that's just not how Jesus models things for us. It doesn't matter how busy our schedules are. It doesn't matter how important of a person we become. It doesn't matter how many crowds of people are waiting on us. We make time for those in need. We make time to love and serve people. Hope that's an encouragement for you this morning. I'll close with a word of prayer. God, I just want to thank you. I want to thank you for who you are. I want to thank you for this day, for the time we can spend. And God, I just pray for safety out in this weather, that people would reach their destination safely. But God, I just pray that in the craziness of our lives and the isolation of where we're at right now, and just in the culture we live in, that we would remember to make time for people, that we would make time for those in need. We make time for those that aren't on our schedule. And that what drives us is love, not control of our day, not what's going to get us ahead, but God, just loving and serving people as you did. Pray this in your Son's heavenly name. Amen. Have a wonderful day.